Man, I am Corrine Brown's baby boy, her number one son. Any and everything I am is as a result of my mother. And that may seem, I don't know, corny, but it really and truly and genuinely is. Let me tell you something. The first place my mother ever took me, I mean, yeah, we did, Barnum and Brothers, Bailey Circus, and the Thanksgiving Day Parade, largely white affairs. But the first place she took me that really stood out was my father had just died, and we were very upset. And one night she said, "Hey, look, we got to get out. We got to go do something."
How old are you?
She took us to the Apollo Theater.
Ooh.
And the air was alive. I'm looking at black people dressed like kings and queens. I'm like, what's going on here? This ain't church. What's going on here?
How old were you?
All of a sudden, 8 years old.
Nice.
All of a sudden, I hear da da. The curtains open. The band is standing there like soldiers. James Brown walks out in a royal blue ruffled shirt, matching royal blue pants, black patent leather shoes with a silver buckle, and a diamond ring that sparkled up to the front, to the top where we were sitting. He said, with your bad self, say it loud. And I kid you not, my life was changed. I'm like, whatever this shit is, this is what I want.
Wow.
Okay? My life was changed. I kid you not. So that was the first place. And then after that, she began to let me go to the Apollo Theater. Like she'd give me $2. $1 to buy a bag of donuts from Georgie's Pastry Shop and $1 admission. And I would sit there in the front row, fifth seat in, all day long,
admission.
watching Al Green, Temptations, Shy-Lights. How about it for $1?
I would see all those posters, the old posters, and I first of all, when I see those posters, like when people would share them, I'd be like, oh man, it's so cool. But I would get so mad because I see the price that it was for back in the days to see talent, raw talent, singing, people playing their instruments.
But then,
and I'm just like,
lip syncing, no Pro Tools. It was just you and your God-given talent, and you had to bring. So I saw my heroes. I saw them at their best. I saw them at their worst, and they were high, drunk, sore throat, and I saw how they worked whatever they had, and I was just soaking it in. And I sit there all day long, 3 shows, then walk back across 125th Street, walk down Lexington Avenue.
Yeah.
12 o'clock at night. My mother let me be me. She just knew that I was protected and covered.
Wow.
Wait, you know about my poster collection, right?
No.
I know a little bit of it, but not. But I want to. Bring that out.
What do I have right here that I can?
And
back in the day,
because you used to show them on Facebook and some of them they're signed. Yeah,
back in the day when they put them up or they staple them on the lamppost,
yes.
I would always take one down and bring it home. My mother's, boy, what are you? I said, Ma, it's music. Let me keep them. Well, here it is. I've got over 200. This whole place is full of memorabilia. But look, here's one right here. Look at this.
Oh my God.
The OJ's in Manhattan.
Wow.
Ticket price was $25. Yeah, I still have every ticket stub and every autograph from every concert I ever went to. All those shows I used to go see as a kid at the Apollo, I would come home, I would write down who was on the show, what they had on, what they sang, what they said. So I still have all those notes in my 11 and 12-year-old handwriting because this is just...
Where did you know how to put this and keep it? Because there's some stuff that I lost that I'm like, oh man, I don't know where it's at.
It's funny. That's how the universe works. You don't know. I'm collecting all this stuff because I just love music and just love it all. The universe sort of guides you to where you're supposed to be. I now realize I have something of importance that no longer exists anywhere in the world.
Exactly.
Yes.
You
have a museum in your house.
I really, really do. I really, really do. It's crazy. You want to laugh?
Yeah.
Hold on.
I love that picture.
Back in the day, the proverbial day, all those sneaker stores that are on 125th Street used to be clothing stores where pimps and players and hustlers and entertainers all bought their clothes. So you see something across the street, then somebody, the OJs would have it on at the Apollo. So I'd see this stuff and I'm like, Ma, could you please buy me this suit? It's a boy, I'm not sending you to school in no red sequin suit. I'm not buying that shit for you. But every now and then she'd break down and she'd get me a few things. So I still have some things. Most importantly, the footwear. You see?
Oh my God!
Great.
My mom used to have a silver pair that looked just like that.
This may be them. I used to go to school like this.
Hide them from us.
Hold on. With rhinestones.
Oh man.
What
year was that? What year is that
this
shoe?
This is 75, 76.
Wow.
Hold on.
History on your feet.
Do they still fit you or no?
I haven't put them on so long. Look at this.
Oh, wow.
I kept these. I used to go to school. I didn't wear Chuck Taylors or Procast. I was dressed like one of the Temptations in school. I used to, I didn't want to get my hands dirty. I didn't want to get, please, I was just always, because that's something else my mother always told me. Son, don't nothing look better than a well-dressed black man. You must always be dressed, smell good, be groomed. If you got a hole in your t-shirt or your drawers, you throw it away. You don't wear it. She would drilling stuff into me. I saw somebody the other day. You know something else she told me? And boy, whatever you do, don't you ever get in bed with no woman with your socks on. You don't do that. You don't do that. So see, Rick,
I never heard that as a life lesson.
I don't know, but she was just adamant about that shit. So to this day, when I see a porn film and the guy has his socks on, I'm like, his mother didn't raise him right.
Oh my God!
This boy ain't got no upbringing. He got his socks on. How dare he? Seize him! Seize him!
That's great.
I told somebody the other day, nah, that boy, he raw.
Nah, I can't watch that now. He got socks on. I can't watch him. Turn it off.
Hey, what are you doing? Okay, I'm just so glad to be finally talking. It looks like I know y'all.
This is great. Of course we know.
This is awesome. Carlton, I was gonna ask you, like, so you're this kid, like, taking in all of this. What do you, as soon as you saw it, what did you feel, and what made you keep going? Like, and what did you pursue to want to be like them? Like, how did you start that process?
How about if I flip it
young
and say the two of you look beautiful together, you look wonderful together. And I'm sure all situations have their ups and downs, but whatever it was the two of you felt when you knew that, hey, look, we gonna be together.
You just know.
That's what I felt about that. I'm like, this is fantastic. Nothing makes me feel like this. Nothing gives me this, and I want to be like these. I don't want to be a pimp. I don't want to be a drug dealer. I don't want to be, you know. I want to do what these guys are doing. And I remember seeing shows where just women would go crazy for these entertainers and just go berserk. And I wanted that adulation as well, you know. So I'm like, okay, well, that'll help. That'll help get me there. And Lord only knows I have been to some situations on the road
with
in these
no
other
socks
countries.
on.
With no socks on. Baby, you don't mind if I keep these on, do you? I'm gonna keep these on real quick, just in case your boyfriend come home. I've been in situations where, you know, I was talking to somebody just about. They say, well, how do you deal with being in these other countries and the linguistic barriers and things like that? Hey, it's soul to soul, it's people to people. There's knuckleheads everywhere in the world. For the most part, you deal with people and it works. I've been in a situation where nobody speaks English, but I know everybody in the town. Everybody knows me, and you know, you communicate. You have to use some sound effects. We go, but you know they'll get it. And I love it. I love it.
When did you start singing and taking those steps?
We know you, because our audience.
Because now you have the clothes, you have the swag, you have the you have the notes from your mama, and you have you studying, you have the music, you studying people. When did you? Because now, like, the other thing is, can I sing? Can I actually can I perform? When did you start noticing those talents?
I just started trying to do it. And I knew I wasn't as good as Danny and everybody else, but it never occurred to me to quit. It never occurred to me to stop. I've got a whole bunch of friends now. Friends. You know, we always call people friends. A lot of people are just acquaintances. But who, these guys were phenomenal back in the day, and they never let old Rudolph play in their reindeer game. I couldn't be down with them. They were very dismissive of me, except for one guy, Enrique Torres. I love him. He would always encourage me and just say, Carlton, keep practicing, keep trying. I used to be so bad. My mother and father never saw me sing. I was too shy. I would call Rick. I said, Rick, come over to the house, man. I think I can do a song. I can sing a song for you. He'd come over in the middle of the day. I'd have him turn off the light and turn around. They'd even face me. He says, Carlton, it's 1 o'clock in the afternoon, man. I can still see you. You know, that's why he's blown away by what I'm doing now. But he's the only one who encouraged me. The rest of them never gave me any respect. But I still did it. There's an artist by the name of Joe Tex. I Gotcha. 70s superstar.
Yeah.
Okay.
I Gotcha was the biggest record in the world at one point. So I went to see him at the Apollo, and he pulls me up on stage to sing I Gotcha.
Yeah.
And I remember that was the first time I heard my voice over the speaker system. Wow. And I was horrible, but shit, I was singing I Gotcha, and Joe Tex was giving me the words. I go back to school, and I tell him, hey, I got to sing to Joe Tex. I said, I Gotcha. Nobody believed that. It's like, get out of this bullshit. Get it. Nobody believed that. Really, they were just, it's impossible. 2 days later, Mrs. Douglas comes in, vice principal, stern as can be, black lady. We're having a fire drill. I don't with no fooling around, no talking, no chewing gum. You get in that line, and anybody that messes up, you'll see me, and blah, 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 blah. She turns and walk out the classroom. She goes, oh, Carlton, I saw you on Sacred Joe Tex the other night. You were very good.
Wow.
To all my classmates. hey, teacher, you get one too. Oh, yeah, little. Oh, wait, are we on video?
No, it's good. It's fine.
Oh, okay,
you can curse. You can do whatever.
Okay, because I don't have any pants on. Okay, cool.
It's fine. You don't got socks.
But hold on.
Right?
You better have.
You with the socks. Hey, Cloud, me not. Cloud.
Hey,
With the socks.
You didn't even sing yet, and you're already taking her away. You didn't even sing yet.
Ain't nobody taking that girl from you, Rick. That's your spiritual cloud, my brother. That is your spiritual cloud. Ain't nobody taking that girl from you. Oh, man.
So, Carlton, what I love about that story is that, you know, you hear the typical, I always had like a gift or a talent, and I knew I was capable of singing, right? Here's the other cases where you had the outer, you know, and you had the passion, but you didn't have the vocal capability just yet. Until the confidence. You had people around you boosting me, but boosting you around saying you could do it. But also,
I didn't have that either, Rick. No, only one guy. Rick, I Rick just now. Wow.
No, that's my name. Yeah, my name is Rick.
Wow. Well, Rick Torres. Rick Torres was the only guy that told me, Carl, keep doing it.
But what I love is that you kept going, right? And you build up you build up the basics, you build up your talent, you build up your confidence to look where you at now. And that's like a beautiful story of like never giving up. Keep going to believe in yourself, and it takes work, right? So even if you had a beautiful voice, you still got to work to maintain it and get it better. Here you are. Go ahead.
You know what I tell people? I say, you got to make mistakes. You got to perform at some club 3 o'clock in the morning. There's only 2 people, and one of them is asleep. The other one ain't paying you no attention. You got to go through all that to become who you are. And you remember as a kid, we used to watch The Road Runner and Wile E. Coyote. Do you remember that cartoon?
Yes.
Do you know what the moral of that story was? You ever thought about that? Never give up. He never stopped going after this guy. You know, matter of fact, they put out a cartoon that showed him one day finally catching the Road Runner, and he's like, I got that son of a bitch, finally! And then 6 months later, he's fat, pizza boxes, because he had nothing else to do with his life. He was like, now what do I do? It's you never give up. You never stop. Yeah, it's a must. So I thank God for that. I never sang in church. Never, like I said, my mother and father never saw me sing. They never heard me. I would go in the room and close the door and listen to records or whatever. So
did you train on your own, or did you eventually find a teacher or class? Like how did your voice flourish? How did you?
My teachers were sitting in that front row at the Apollo Theater. You know what I'm saying? Watching them do what they do. You know, there could be no greater. I can't stress that enough. Watching these people up close. Sometimes they come down in between shows. You've been here all day long, kid. Can we buy you some soda or something? Thank you. I wouldn't even move out of my seat. You know, when you see people like James Brown, that's a whole nother story. My life with James Brown. When you see these people up close doing it in this raw, it's like being a boxer, somebody like boxing, and you got to hang around Muhammad Ali. These boxers nowadays don't mean nothing to you. Some kid, I was in Switzerland someplace, and some musician who thought he was all that says, "Oh, I listen to Black Eyed Peas. Great band, huh?" I said, "Son, I saw Earth, Wind and Fire open up for Sly and the Family Stone at Madison Square Garden. Black Eyed Peas don't mean shit to me. You know what I'm saying? And that's with all due respect to Black Eyed Peas, all due respect to Bruno Mars, but I saw the original. So if you seen Muhammad Ali, you don't care about Deontay Wilder, Anthony Joshua. Yeah. You saw that. And I can't express you what it's like.
And the obstacles back then was far harder and worse.
Yeah. Trust me. Nowadays, anybody can make a record. Anybody can be a rapper. Back then, you didn't make a record unless you could sing, unless you had something to offer.
I always been connected to the.
Hustle it up. There was no internet, social media.
I always been connected to the old school and the soul. And it's something I know I have an old soul, I have an old spirit, but the soul music always drawn to me, and even classical music, all types of music. And I will always get the vinyls my mom would have, and then I will go on YouTube and watch the old footage. And even now, and I'm gonna share this story. We were connected for a while. I remembered you, but you don't remember me. I was like almost like a fly on the wall, right? I went to go and
Rikers Island. I ordered the soup.
Yes.
You were gambling, and you owe me some sneakers. Claude, I'm sorry to break it to you.
It was another life. It was another life.
I'm sorry to break it to you.
I didn't let you know about that one.
Sorry about that, babe. So about them sneakers, Rick. What's up? No, but go ahead. We met?
We didn't meet, but I met you. And hear how I met you, right? From a distance. I took my friends to go see Kelly Finnegan at this rooftop concert. And I've been into this whole, soul thing for a while. And I'm like, when I was into the back of the day, so I'm like, there gotta be people singing like this, right? So I started getting into it and stuff like that, finding out who's the new school people now performing. And Kelly Finnegan was one of those people. So I heard the record, fell in love with it. My next thing was, I want to see this white dude sing live. I want to see what it is. Blew me away. He was great. But anyway, you was there.
I had a green jacket.
You had a green suit.
Polka dot.
Yes, I know what you got on, because that's exactly what I will wear. So first of all, before you even said it, I was like, man, that dude, he got a nice outfit. Then I see you talking, but there was just such an aura about you that I'm blessing. That I knew that I'm like, this guy is something. You know what I'm saying? Not even like musically, but there's something there for this guy, right? Then you start talking, and stuff like that. And then I think Kelly Finnegan gave you a shout out, and that's how I got your name. And I says, I'm gonna look up this dude because there's just something about him that
that's the universe,
right? So then that's when I figured out that you was just singing all the stuff, and I'm like, bingo! I was like, that has to be it. And then we became friends. Didn't think nothing of it. And then we got closer through Facebook because what you were posting, I'm like, yo, this dude is awesome, and all the stuff you were sharing. Thank you, Rick. So I just want to say that was my introduction to you before the music.
You just made that Miri just that much respect. And now you know what blew me away that night? That when I was there, because I got to meet Joe Bataan.
Yes.
Oh, that's
yes.
Joe Bataan was there,
and I did not know he was into the shout out. I'm like, oh shit, I'm next to a fucking legend right now.
Totally, man. I grew up, as you know, in Spanish Harlem, El Barrio, 103rd and Lexington. Joe Bataan was truly all that. Mm-hmm. And to show you again how small the universe is. I wind up I'm in Helsinki, Finland. I'm in an elevator, going up in an elevator, and I see a weird painting in the elevator. I happen to mention something to it, and a guy behind me says something, and I just said, yo, where are you from? He goes, right here in Helsinki. No, before you got to Helsinki. He said, I'm from 118th Street and 3rd Avenue. I said, man, I grew up on 103rd and Lexington. Juan Manuel Romero, he played bass on all the Fania All-Stars records, all of this stuff. We're cool to this day. And I was talking to Joe Bataan about him that night because he knew him.
Yeah.
Wow.
Rick, you just became just that much more family to me, man. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, and, I took a record. I was going to tell you something. You mentioned the vinyls and being into soul music, and I tell people this all the time. When we buy these albums, we look on the back. There's 30, sometimes 20 to 30 different musicians playing with different tracks. Yep. You stop and think, each person was going through their own trials and tribulations, whatever in life, and whatever they were going through, joy, pain, they brought that emotion with them into the studio through their instrument. That's when we put on certain old records and we're happy, we're sad, we cry, because that's really emotion. Everything nowadays is a computer. You know what I'm saying? So there's something, there's a little something missing. That vinyl.
There's nothing like a vinyl. The sound, I just love it.
The dirty sound, I love it. I love it. Oh my God. Who's your favorite singer?
Oh, my favorite singer?
Who's the first one that got you?
Well, I grew up listening to Fania All-Stars from my dad.
Okay.
Because he's a record collector. And I was drawn into the Fania All-Stars, but also the merengue, because I'm Dominican, so I grew up with merengue, bachata.
Look here. When I grew up, one of the first things I learned.
What drew me more was the salsa. I loved the Fania.
Yeah.
I loved Johnny Pacheco. I love Celia Cruz.
Yes.
Ismael Miranda. Like, I was just drawn by the music, the instruments. It just drew me, and I always admired.
One of the things I learned early on is you do not mistake a Puerto Rican girl for a Dominican girl. You can die.
I don't get offended.
You made that. Back then, people used to get upset about that shit.
I know.
This may be your last moment on earth.
Yep,
it's true, but not me. I don't get offended.
Keep talking. I gotta try to find something.
But anyway, I was saying.
Wait. Look at this. Look at this.
What's that?
Okay.
Oh, wait.
Hold on.
Turn it around.
September 16th, 1983. Rick
Wow.
James, the Mary Jane Girls. Hold on. Mtume, Midnight Star. The next night, the
Whispers.
The Whispers.
Roberta Flack.
Roberta Flack. People
Bryson.
Now, ask me how much the tickets are.
I'm going to say.
That's Madison Square Garden.
That's 1983, $15.
$30.
$12.50 and then $15.
Yep.
Can you imagine for all of that?
Yep.
Can you imagine?
I knew that price because I used to see a lot of those posters around that year, and I'm like, come on, man, 15 and now you're paying like the 100.
Back then, that was.
But even then, 15. Okay, that's $15 though for like 40 people, like performing.
Okay,
that's like
not 40 any people, like 40.
That's what I'm saying.
Top shit. You know what I'm saying?
Top tier. Yeah. Like how much are they taking home after they sell out the thing? Yeah. Probably not that much.
Yeah.
Man, but keep talking. I can hear you. I'm talking about something special. Share with Cloud.
You have so much special going on. Show me your red shoes.
My red shoes.
The shoes that I love.
Oh my God. I got all that stuff in China.
Oh, in China? Oh, damn.
China. He has a guy that makes his shoes.
Wow, that's awesome. This
guy. I lived there for a long time. You know that story, right?
Yeah, this guy is a living legend. This is like one of the...
I want to hear about your traveling.
This is like one of those podcasts. It's definitely a different and unique podcast because like we seen memorabilia. We're going down memory lane. So this episode is going to go many different avenues.
Carlton, you need to open your museum. Like, for real.
Well, believe it or not, we're working on that. Here's what I'm looking for. Are you ready, Cloud?
I'm ready. I'm closing my eyes. I'm a close my eyes.
Are you ready, Cloud?
I'm ready.
You ain't ready for this. Okay.
This is a poster?
Yeah.
I'm closing my eyes.
Here we go.
Ooh. You can
open your eyes. She fell asleep, Rick. She fell asleep.
You got to frame that.
Celia Cruz. Sonora Mantancera, Tito Puente, Willie Colon, Johnny Pacheco, Pete El Conde, Cheo Feliciano.
You went to that one?
Of course he did.
I went to all of these. Yeah. I didn't understand what was being said, but I understood the energy.
Oh,
$10, $15, and $20.
Oh, wow.
Hold on.
I'm so jealous.
Man.
Celia Cruz, Tito Puente.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Avery Fisher Hall.
Yep. And see, they used to staple them around, there's two of them.
Yeah.
They staple them around the lampposts,
Yeah.
I'm so
hold on.
jealous.
Wow.
So, all right, Natalie Cole.
Natalie Cole.
Wait, no, but that's not what's important. But before Natalie Cole came on, you had to sit through the opening act. You know that, right?
Yeah.
So we had to sit through the opening act.
Damn, Eddie Murphy opened up for her.
From Saturday Night Live, he wasn't really Eddie Murphy yet. We're just like, come on, man, with the jokes, okay?
Did you like it? Did you like his jokes?
Loved him. Now, do you know who Shalimar? I can do it.
Shalimar, yeah.
We'll get on this in a minute. Now you know they had a breakup, right? They had a breakup. The group broke up. Jody Wiley wasn't getting along. So I got a poster, 1980. The Whispers Lakeside, it's the Solar Tour.
Wow.
I go to see Howard Hughes. I say, Howard, would you sign this? Without missing a beat, he signs it directly over Jody's face. I said, Howard, come on, man. Don't do that. Howard. So then the other side, he signed in a nicer, okay?
That
so a month later, I go see Jody Watley at BB King's.
Yeah.
And I bring the poster. And I'm very careful to give her this side.
Yeah.
So she goes, oh, this is beautiful. I've seen this in so long. This is wonderful. He's an asshole. He's such an asshole. I'm like, oh, man.
That's hilarious.
Yes, I said, Jody, I couldn't stop her. That's okay. Take a picture with me. It's going to be in the book. Jody, don't put me in that shit. You know what I'm saying?
You was right in that beef.
I was sending y'all pictures of all of this stuff. I got pictures of everything. You know, I got a book coming out, right?
Yes, I remember. Yes, you are.
All that matters is the music. It's
You're
just
a great
stories.
writer too.
Oh, thank you. Stories of all these people I met.
Oh
Then the book after that is going to be Tales from the Front Row with all those ticket stubs. I still have them and the stories of those shows. Cause,
oh wow!
Yeah, I love it. It's just I love the whole creative process. I'm sure you do. You know
what was your first experience on stage? What was your first?
Well, he did. He said it when that guy.
Oh, that's right. No, okay.
But you know, there was one right before that when I was
as you, like, what was that first experience like?
Wait, Rick.
Yeah.
Cloud, I was always me. It was always me on the stage. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I know you were always you.
Cloud, don't smoke the whole bag.
She fell asleep.
Smoke one,
she fell asleep.
Cloud, just smoke one. If it's good shit, all you need is one. Don't smoke the whole bag.
You told her to close her eyes, and she's been sleeping since.
Okay,
I know what you mean. I just love messing with you.
That's awesome.
I was at some little neighborhood dance. I got on stage and was dancing with my sisters or whatever. And then I remember coming off stage and going into my mother to buy some ice cream. And some people walked by outside and went, there he is. The little boy that was dancing on stage. And I remember liking that.
Okay.
Out of the blue double-breasted suit, the things you remember, the inane, ridiculous things you remember. So that was my first experience. And then, just steady trying to do a bunch of shows and things like that.
What kept you focused to? Because we both grew up in bad neighborhoods, but what kept you focused to not follow your peers, to not be in the gangs, to not be in the pimp, and what kept you in, and what kept you in line to keep on saying, well, I'm not that good, but this is what I want to do, and I'm not gonna let anything stir me away.
Did you ever see that classic hip hop film called Who's the Man from back in the day?
Yes.
It was filmed. Everybody was in this one. Everybody was in it. It was filmed in a precinct. That precinct is on 104th Street between Lexington and 3rd. My mother would always walk me by that precinct all the time. I say, when you mess up, that's where you go. You go behind those bars. And I don't get to see you at all. No, you don't get to see. So I knew I did not want to be in jail. I knew I did not want to get in any trouble, anything that would separate me from my mother and my family. Now, growing up, yes, being a kid, I tried marijuana. I tried coke. Never heroin, dust, or crack. You tried them, but I'm like, okay, cool. It made me just want to go be with a girl. It didn't make, or listen to some music. It didn't make me want to do more. Because other people get caught up in that. So no, I didn't want to do that. I never liked the taste of alcohol. So I don't even drink beer or wine. Don't like cigarettes. Don't like drugs. Now, my problem is I will eat every Pop-Tart in your house. You know what I'm saying?
That's me too.
Sweets.
Sucker for sweets.
Now you grew up in a Spanish neighborhood, right?
Yeah.
You grew up in a Spanish neighborhood?
Yes.
Yeah.
Spanish and black.
Look here, let me tell you what my fetish is. And I just recently had to stop this. When I come home off tour, it got to the point where I wouldn't even come drop off my suitcase. My first stop would be Valencia cakes. And I would buy a whole cake.
And eat it by yourself?
Yeah, man. I loved it. I grew up, growing up, it was either Carvel cake, the ice cream shit, or Valencia cake. I was a Valencia cake. I would just go buy them. It's a birthday place. So they'd be like, my friend, what you want me to write? Write to me. Because I'm going to eat that shit. You know what I'm saying? So I had to stop doing that because it just became too much sugar. I would eat a whole jar of peanut butter and jelly, 12 Krispy Kreme donuts. That's my vice. So, and as you get older, it's just not good.
It catches up.
I miss Valencia cakes like you have no idea. But I'm just like,
well, you can have a little piece, just not a whole.
Did you stop eating sugar, period, or you?
I'm still trying. Right now, my latest fetish is golden Oreo cookies.
Oh, okay.
So I'm trying to get in the gym as much as I can, but no, and there's no little piece of Valencia cake. Just like there's no one hot Krispy Kreme donut. You know what I'm saying? Remember Krispy Kremes with that hot glaze?
Oh yeah.
I would get through
when it comes right out of the oven.
I'd get through 10 of them before I'm like, I might as well make it a dozen. I'm no quitter. My man, give me 2 more. Let's make it an even dozen. I get the hell out of here. You know what I'm saying?
What was the when did you start? You're working on your craft. When did you start saying, you know what, I want to make an album? I want to take us to that road of putting an album together.
I always did. I always want. Back in the day, you used to be able to take your cassettes around to record companies and hope they would. That's a whole nother trip. This one came about quite by I was performing in Finland, and they took me to see somebody. Some guy jam, and he was great. A little Finnish guy, but he was very soulful, like D'Angelo. I got on stage and jammed with him. It was cool. A few days later, I went to visit somebody who had come to the show, and they invited me to their house. And as I'm sitting, they said, look, there's some music you might like. And they played that guy's album. And I'm like, hey, I didn't even know Finland had a record company. I would love to go see these guys and talk to them. So I contacted the guy that I jammed with. He said, I'll take you over there. Nobody puts anybody on like that in New York. It's rare. Yeah, he said, I'll take you there. I get up there. We start talking. They're playing music. I start singing. They said, hey, let's do a record. It happened just like that.
Oh, wow.
Literally, it happened just like that. Have you ever been to Finland, Helsinki, Finland?
No.
This couple, I went to their house, and this happened to me a few other times. In Finland, everybody has a sauna in their house.
Oh,
it's
wow, I wish.
Sauna.
Oh,
they call it sauna. They call it sauna. Unless you just really don't have a lot of money, so just you live a little bit cheaper. Everyone has one in their house, and custom is, as you're sitting there talking, at some point, well, let's take our clothes off and go sit in the sauna. Excuse me?
With socks.
My shoes? No, clothes. Underwear, everything. And sit in the sauna. Naked?
Do you have a towel or you butt naked?
Naked.
For
what? To talk.
I said,
we talking in here. We talking in the living room.
Yeah.
No, but this is what we do. And they would, every time I go sit in there, and I have to tell them, hey, my man, I'm not going to do that. One, because I'm going to be looking at your wife's breasts.
Yeah, okay? Of course.
I mean, from what I ascertain right now, I believe she's a 38C cup. That's lovely. I'm just guessing. And you don't want that. I don't want y'all looking at me. I'm not going to. They would never stop. It's just tradition there. So just be prepared for that shit.
Wow. That's good. No, good to know.
I love saunas, but I want to have conversations in the
that's so weird, though.
And then with people I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Talk about music.
I don't want to see no grown ass man naked.
I don't want to see no balls and stuff like that.
I want to relax, not to talk.
Yeah.
Exactly.
What
come on, ask you some more stuff. I'm loving this.
What was some helpful advice that you got for some of the legends that you was around?
And what legends?
And what was something to this day that you think about, like whether you're either having a troubled day in the studio or something, or you're trying to create something. What was something that they shared with you that stuck with you?
Not really much. The one thing that comes to mind immediately was I was walking up 7th Avenue and I ran into Mtume. God bless him, because we just lost him. And I happened to mention, hey man, I'm just, things aren't happening for me the way I want them to happen. He said, hey brother, you keep going, because even a crawl is forward motion. I never forgot that. Now, the other people, I would just listen to their music and get messages from their music. Gotcha. Particularly somebody like James Brown. I don't want nobody to give me nothing, open up the door, I get it myself, be proud, So I would get it from that, but none of them ever really gave me any sage advice. I didn't really ask them for it. I'm just being around and doing whatever.
Taking it in.
You had this connection too with James Brown, as if like you guys are like that, you like related and stuff like that, and
it's unbelievable. And you know about me playing him in the movie, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Now
check this out.
What was that like? And how?
Let me tell you about the universe. Oh yeah. Well, let me tell you about the universe again. Like I said, loved him forever. But from the first time I went to see him, met him countless times, went to every show. You know what's funny about that? Of course, I loved him like crazy. And whenever I found he was coming to town, I would just go berserk. And my mother and sister, I don't want to see no damn James Brown. All he do is scream. Ma, I don't want to go see James Brown. Please don't make me go. Lisa, we're not going to leave you here. So we got to go. Or your brother's going to go on a hunger strike. We got to go. And they would just bitch and moan and complain till they got to the theater and the show started. Then they would lose their minds. Dancing, going crazy. Me, I couldn't move. I was riveted. My mother, boy, get up and dance. Please, lady, not now. Don't touch me. I couldn't. I was just riveted. So September 9th, 1994, James Brown is going to appear at the Apollo. My buddy Kendall Brown is working there overnight. They're breaking down one thing. So now it's going from September 8th into September 9th. It's about 2 o'clock in the morning. He's like, hey, your man's going to be here tonight. I know you're coming. I said, nah, I'm not coming, man. You know, by that time, he begun to phone it in. The shows weren't as good.
Oh, okay.
Nah, I'm not. I don't want to taint the memories. My buddy said, yeah, you say that all the time, and then you show up at the last minute. I said, no, something's going to happen tonight to keep me from coming. I'm going to get a date with Beyonce. Halle Berry's going to want to marry me tonight. Something will keep me from coming. Pow, my mother dies that night. Oh. I'm devastated, okay? Devastated. So a couple of years later, September 9th, and I'm praying, Mom, God bless you, rest in peace, and so forth. And my phone rings. Carlton, it's Harry Weinberg from Universal Pictures. Blah, 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 blah. Could you play James Brown in the movie? Literally like that. I'm like, what? Could you play James Brown in the movie? We know about the way you perform, and the guy they're trying right now gets exhausted after 2 takes. I'm like, yeah, I could do that. Yeah. Wow. Okay, well, we need you to make a videotape lip syncing these 3 songs. Do you know them? Like the back of my hand. And we need it at the production office in LA by Monday. So just mail it in. Okay. So I have some bow ties that James Brown gave me. I went and bought a wig, tuxedo. My man had a little rehearsal space and a camera. I filmed myself doing a whole show like James Brown. Now this is taking place over the course of a couple of days, and I keep getting calls from the production. Hey, we didn't get the tape yet. So it'll be there Monday. Monday morning, me and this young lady, Gina Fredericks, got on a plane and we flew to Los Angeles. Oh, wow. To hand deliver the tape. Here's the universe. As we pull up on Rodeo Drive, about to get out of the taxi, a white band pulls up next to us playing a James Brown song. I said, try me. I said, what are the odds? What are the odds? I'm going to get this. And every time I tried to lean forward to see who was driving, it would move up. I leaned forward, it would move up. I couldn't see who it was. I'm like, oh, shit. I go upstairs to the office. I said, I'm here to see Mary Lou Wills. Who are you? I said, tell her James Brown is here. She comes out of her office and she goes, Carlton? What are you doing here? You don't live here. You live in New York. I said, yeah, but I really want this part. I want to put this tape in your hand. Wow. Oh, my God. Come on in. Please sit down. You must be tired. Awesome. I go in the office. I sit down. I plop down in the chair. I knock over every CD in the CD rack behind me, except one.
James Brown.
James Brown.
She goes, oh, my God. Oh, my God. Look, Roots of a Revolution. The green cover. I got it right here. And I said, yeah, that's kind of been happening all day. You know, so we looked at the tape and said, you got this. And sure enough, that's how it happened. The movie came out. James Brown comes back to BB King's that year, and I see him. Man, that movie was out of sight. Out of sight. The way they went back and forth between me and you, first was me, then was you, then was me, then was you. And I'm like, this motherfucker thinks that was him. And his man told me he thought the faraway shots were him and the close-ups were me. So I'm like, yes, Mr. Brown, they went back and forth between me and you. I know they did. Wow. That man, you know, and let me tell you, I was no close friend. I'm closer to his daughters than his family now. Yeah. You know, I wasn't, but I was just that kid that was always around. So that's why we'd always take pictures. I'm glad I didn't really know him. I'm glad I didn't really work for him. Because we know the horror story. Yeah. Exactly. Elvis, Sinatra, all these guys are assholes. You know what I'm saying? So I'm glad. But that's my man. I was at the Beacon Theater one time, and they took me to his dressing room. I had a suit just a funny story about how I got the suit. I'll tell you one day. And he's got his head under the dryer. He's admonishing his band. And he sees me, he goes, you mighty clean there, brother. You mighty clean. Come sit here. So I sit next to him. I'm just like, oh, shit. And a puddle of urine. Oh, shit. You know? And he's asking me how I'm doing at school and blah, blah, blah. Then all of a sudden he looks beyond me and he goes, oh, get out the dice. Get out the dice. And here come the Isley Brothers. Oh. Wow. Me, James Brown, and the Isley Brothers. And I realized even at 16, I'm amongst rare air here. These are legends. These are legends. And everyone was so kind and gracious that, you know, these things, I mean, I have a million stories like this, you know, a million. And I'm sorry, I'm just rambling, but
no, this is great.
To y'all.
This is about you. This is about you.
Ask me some more stuff.
And I'm living through you. I'm over here. This is like
we got to get together after. Wait, where you guys at? You in LA?
No, we're in Arizona now, but we still go to New York.
Okay. Please let me know next time you're in New York. We got to get together. Okay?
Yes, absolutely.
Please. Wow. So go, Colgate, talk to me. Ask me something. Come on.
So how did you begin to start traveling with your music? And also, go with that. And then I'll ask you about your writing because you're a great storyteller.
Thank you. Doing a bunch of shows around New York, and I tell young entertainers this, or entertainers period, I tell them this all the time. Forget about all these curly cues and runs and riffs. I mean, I wish I could do that, but I can't. Forget about all that shit. All people want is to be entertained. Entertain them. And they will come back to see you again and again. And especially if you have a residency, they'll bring their friends. When their friends come to town, oh, I know where we can go. You're going to love this guy. Yeah. And to forget about all that yoke and shit. You know what I'm saying? Entertain. Yep. I tell entertainers, and when I was coming up, I never saw this. And I mentioned this to somebody the other day. Every show I go see now, everybody got an iPad on stage or a phone reading lyrics. I'm like, as a singer, you got...
What?
I haven't seen that.
Oh, yeah, Rick, just look, you see. Everybody's reading lyrics from an iPad or from their phone.
On stage?
Yeah, attached to the... Look on YouTube. Look at some local shows. Yeah, attached to this. Especially
how are you not prepared like that? Like this, like
as a singer, you got one job: learn the fucking lyrics. That's all you gotta do. You ain't gotta paint the kitchen. You ain't gotta do nothing else. Learn the lyrics. So I tell them when you're looking at this iPad, you can't make eye contact with your audience. You know, you can't connect with them. So you gotta wink, smile, talk. So my thing was always to entertain, no matter what. I was doing a bunch of shows around New York. And I was appearing at this club called The Bottom Line. Have you ever heard of The Bottom Line?
No, I haven't.
Legendary club in New York. It's no longer there. Bruce Springsteen was going to save them because NYU bought them out. Prince, Miles Davis, everybody performed there coming up. It was a small club, but it was the place. I first saw Prince there. I still got that ticket. I was going to ask you. $6.50. Okay? I Want to Be a Lover was a brand new record. Please. So I would always perform there, opening up or whatever, and the owner knew me. A band canceled at the House of Blues and Jazz in Shanghai, China. And she was calling around to see who else they could send in. And he said, I got a guy for you. So he called me and says, Carlton, do you want to do a show? I said, always. It's for 3 months. A 3-month show, a 3-month rent? Sure. It pays X amount of dollars. Sure. Where is it? And he told me where. And I said what people would always begin to say to me once I told them where I lived. He said, China. I said, China? Because you don't conceive of that. Like, when I began to live there, when I would come home, I would tell people, I live in China. China? You can't conceive of it.
Yeah.
So he says, well, yeah, Carlton. That's why I say that, but like, do you want to do it? And in those 2 to 3 seconds, I thought about the fact that nobody in my family has ever traveled outside the country. Never been to a place like that. I said, yes, I'll do it. So I go there. Sometimes just do one show. Don't touch the people. Don't look at the people. Don't talk to the people. The club is for jazz and blues. So we're doing this jazz, blues type stuff. I'm coming up with some stuff. I put a little band together. We came with some jazz and blues stuff. Then one night I'm like, you know what, man?
This ain't me.
I need some. It's me. I made it work, but come on, I want to have some fun. Sex machine. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. And from that moment on, you couldn't get in the club anymore. It was packed. They kept me there for 3 months, sent me home and said, come back. And I wound up living there for 10 years.
Wow. You got to learn the language and everything?
I can't be bothered with that. There's all these different countries I go to. I learned just enough to get by. Hello, how are you? You're beautiful. Get out of my room. Yeah. You know,
your Uber's outside.
I don't have socks on.
Uber? Get your ass out of here.
I don't have socks on.
You in the socks cloud. Rick, you gonna be hearing that shit for 2 weeks now.
I am.
You ain't gonna let it go.
That's it. That's it. It's over.
Yep, it's over.
Hey, so and I just began to entertain them. And you know, even if they don't speak English, they know the words of my girl. You know what I'm saying? They know, get up, get on up. And then I would always put my own songs into the show so I wouldn't feel like a wedding singer. And you sell your songs to the people. You get to see what works. And so I'd come home for a week or two, but then I'd go back. And then I began to travel other places from there. Because everybody's in China. So I'd come on stage. Oh, we have a club in Sweden. We have a club in Norway. We have a club. Will you come do it? Yeah. That's how I began to travel. Then people see me these other places. And they hide. I had to do New Year's in the Maldives. And one night I asked the guy, how did you know to call me? The Maldives Islands. How did you know to call me? Because I saw you in Bali 2 years ago. And I knew that when I would So it's a blessing. I don't have a manager or an agent.
I was just gonna ask you, do you have a manager or an agent? This is all
the universe. Not to sound corny, but I mean, honestly, just keeps happening like that.
I believe that's your universe. You created that for yourself.
Thank you, God.
Your mom started that because she brought you there.
That's my girl.
And then you took it and woof.
Yeah, and she never sang. She never none of it. But she loved music. I still have her albums. I have all of her albums. You know,
what did you learn traveling? And just like, not even about the music, but I know you touched on something which is on a deep level. It's like, well, people can feel it. People can feel the music. So what did you learn going to the different countries, not really knowing how to communicate with them like in their language, but you had the music? What was something that you learned from country to country, just dealing with people and being around?
One thing I was very much aware of that for a lot of people, I'm the first black man they've ever seen or met up close. So I'm always aware that I am representing. You understand?
Yeah.
And what I found is that as long as you smile and you're of goodwill and you look people in the eye and just, you know, people gonna be scared of you. They have their preconceived notions.
Yeah.
But I found that the one thing I've learned is that there are wonderful people all over this world. We're sprinkled with assholes, of course.
Of course.
For the most part, people are wonderful. The energy, the vibe, I love it. Even when I'm sitting someplace where nobody speaks English, I still get the vibe. I feel it, and I find a way to make it work. You know, I tell people this all the time. My first week in Turkey, I don't know if I told you this, or I may have posted it. I'm walking down. I'm going to find the. Let me find my phone real quick. I'm walking down. Let me tell you this. I'm walking down what is basically the Broadway of Istanbul.
Yeah. Istanbul, okay.
3 white girls walk by me. They're Turkish, but they're white. And I hear one of them say, "Nigger."
Wow.
Oh.
Now, you know how you're walking and it takes things a minute to reach you?
Like, then it hits you.
That bitch just called me a nigger?
Yeah.
So, because, you know, I'd never been called a nigger by anybody outside of my own race. And that's a whole other story. Ain't that deep, okay?
Yeah.
All right? But, so I went back over to her. I wasn't going to, wait, because I got to show you this part also. Let me. Here it is. So I walked back over to her. I tapped on her shoulder. I wasn't going to hit her, but I wanted to say, "Why would you say something so mean like that?" So I said, "Excuse me."
Yeah.
I said, "Excuse me." She turns around. She goes, "Nigger, nigger!"
Oh my God.
Am I being fucking pranked?
Yeah.
She's screaming this shit at the top of her lungs.
Oh my.
She's thrilled that I'm even, and her friends are.
Oh
my
God. This is like a Dave Chappelle sketch.
Yeah, I'm expecting Ashton Kutcher to jump out someplace, right? I'm like, what the fuck? And then it dawned on me right in the middle of that, hip hop. Because a couple of other black guys you saw around there, they were clearly African in their garb and the way they spoke. I got in a hoodie, the sweatpants, the sneakers, because it's my day off. So in her mind, hey, that's one of those niggers that make those records. I couldn't even be mad at her because I could tell she meant no harm.
Right.
And I thank God it was me because that could have turned out much worse. Okay?
Right.
So she began to come to my shows, follow me on Facebook, bring her friends, and then one day I get a message in broken English. "I'm so sorry. I don't know. Please forgive me." Where somebody must have said, "You called him what?" No.
You don't do that.
I said, no, but he's my favorite nigga.
I love him.
Oh, yeah.
I did another show in Izmir, and I turned this place out. Everybody there was sweating.
Where's Izmir?
Well, that's a
exactly someplace outside of.
But that's a great example and a great thing about showing that the ignorance in people sometimes, right? And now and how they're uninformed.
Well, I'm gonna tell you about that also. I'm gonna lead to something with that. So I do this show in Izmir. I come on stage. This man walks up to me. "Oh my God, my friend, you are so good. You're so. Oh, your voice, the way your people sing. I tell you, when I come back, I want to be born a nigger. Can I take a picture with you?"
Oh my!
Can I take a picture with you? I'm like, come on, motherfucker, come on. There's a picture of me and that man somewhere where I'm like, I can't get mad at them because they don't know. And quiet as it's kept, it's our fault. That word should have never got out into pop culture. My mother and grandmother said it, but it was like farting. You did it at home behind closed doors. It's like no other race or culture uses a term uses an ethnic slur as a term of endearment. When I walk through Spanish Harlem now, it's like you see all the young Puerto Rican kids. They say the word nigga more than a Ku Klux Klan meeting. I'm like, why would you choose to act like the worst of my race? You have a glorious culture that you know for the most part know nothing about. And it's but wait here, I don't know if you can see this, but I said no one's gonna believe this. Once the first girl said it, so I had to tape it. Let me see if you can see it here. Wait. This young lady just saw me in the street and she said, nigga. She was trying to do the West Side Gang sign.
Oh my
but her little pudgy fingers. Wait, look at it again. Look at it again. She said, nigga.
Oh my God.
This young lady just saw me in the street and she said, nigga. Unbelievable. What's that?
But
it's like a child. It's like a kid, a baby.
But you know what?
They don't know.
So
you know what?
Everything.
She's trying to. She probably meant to say with the AH, with like "What's up, nigga?" Or like "Be cool," but it's coming off with the ER, and it's like, nah, baby girl, there's a difference.
But Rick, you want to know something? You want to know my take on that? It's all the same. Don't give me that. And we always want to tell people, well, we use it because we can take away the power of the word. Bullshit. Let 6 of you be standing on the corner and the white man walks up and you niggas get off the corner. You're going to go berserk. The word will always have all of its power, but the cat's out the bag. You can't unring that bell, so. But I didn't mean to take us down the racial political path. Let's talk music.
But that is part of music. Because
you're right.
That is part of music. The most political change came from music like that when people started speaking about those things like Marvin Gaye and stuff like that, talking about what's going on in the neighborhoods, and so if anything,
Rick, you want to know what's even deeper? Growing up, I remember when we were called Negroes and coloreds. If you called another African American black, you would have had to fight them in the street. America had brainwashed us to be to hate our kinky hair, our wide noses, our big lips, and our dark skin. So you didn't call them. What you mean black? I'm colored. And it's when Martin Luther King was assassinated, April 4th, 1968. A few months later, James Brown put out "Say It Loud, I'm Black and I'm Proud." He gave an entire race an identity. Think about that. Race. And that's when he also lost his pop air. Remember back then, he used to play James Brown, Tom Jones, Temptations, the Beatles, all on the same stations. He put that record out. You didn't hear James Brown on white stations no more until Living in America. Okay? Now, check it out. His records began to only be played on black stations. Those black stations were played where? In the ghettos. All those kids grew up with those beats, and that's how hip-hop, everybody's using James Brown's hip-hop samples. White people don't know about Answer My Pants and Funky President. No. They know Sex Machine Papa's got a brand new bag and Living in America, which I hated that shit. Stop singing it, Cloud. Don't sing that shit.
But even the white people, they couldn't really try to duplicate his music because it was too fast and it was new. So they couldn't really because back in the days, they just steal all the music from the black people. So
you ain't getting that. You ain't getting because he don't know what he do.
Exactly. I wanted to touch on two things. One thing was it was people like you on my block that got me into music. One was my uncle used to always listen to, we used to do road trips. He used to always put the oldie station. So that's how I got into the Temptations and all the soul music and classical rock. And then it was the older dudes, the OGs that will be smoking cigarettes with the other dudes and talking about their life. And they will bump James Brown. And then when I will go to the supermarket with my mom, they will be there. And they used to call me Young Blood because I used to just stay there and listen to the music. And I'm like, man, that's so good. And they would I would soak it all in because they would talk about so much stories and seeing them. So it was people like you that drew me in even more because I just connected to it right away. So then that's one. Two, I remember I hold this very highly as one of I get compliments for people and I love when people appreciate my work. But when you took the time to watch my show and write this email. I remember I'm in the living room and we're watching TV, and I read the email and I go, wow. And then Cloud goes, what happened? I said, Carlton just gave me one of the best
man, I remember that.
Of my life. And she says, wow, that's great. I said, no, you don't understand. This guy has seen so many artists. And she's like, yeah. I said, no. James Brown. You don't know. James Brown, Al Green. He has seen the top of the top. And he just told me that he appreciate my work. And I was like, that I didn't take lightly. I was like,
Rick, you took me back watching that. I'm like, hey, man, this is good. He's sincere, which is the most important thing. He's genuine and sincere. Okay? He's comfortable on that stage, and he's funny, and he reminds you of people I grew up with. There was one, oh, man, now I can't remember it.
No, but I just want to say thank you.
Yeah. Oh, man, please. It was my pleasure. It was my pleasure. There was one joke you told, I don't know if it was about breasts or something, but the way you said it, I'm like, oh, shit. I was at my daughter and her mother's house. I said, Terry, you got to come watch this guy, because we grew up like, so I love it. And to this day, you and I are going to work on something.
Yes.
Make no mistake. I'm going to sell one of these scripts I'm working on.
Yes.
And I'm going to have a part in it for you.
I would love that. I want to touch on now, what was it like now? Like you, because it was a perfect segue because you talked about your daughters. How did becoming a father now change who you are? What did you learn from that, and how did that help you to even maybe go deeper into your music?
Well, I can honestly say no, it wasn't planned. But my mother and I, we've known each other 30 some odd years. We were boyfriend and girlfriend back in the day, and we remained in touch. You know what I'm saying? And my mother loved everybody.
Yeah.
Wait, can I tell you a quick crazy ass mother story?
Yeah.
Yes.
This girl I'm trying to, you know what? I always have props. Stay right there. You're gonna laugh. I promise you.
This is your interview. This is all about you.
So my thing was whoever tried to date somebody, I'd always bring them over to my mother's house, because it made me look like a nicer guy before they figured out 3 weeks in that I ain't shit. So it gave the relationship a little more shelf life, So there was this one girl who just had these amazing breasts. These breasts, they were just so. She could feed a nation. These were some We Are the World titties. I kid you not.
Feed the world titties.
We are the world. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We are the world titties. So, but I knew all the other guys were flipping about this. I said, I'm gonna be different. I'm not even gonna acknowledge it. I'm gonna talk about other things. My love, you have beautiful elbows. God, I love the way you blink. Shit, just different shit. And it worked. Because she taught me daily, so I figured, okay, this is happening. Hey, let's go to my mother's house real quick before we go back to, I ain't gonna live by myself, which is another story, I'll tell you that. She go to my mother's house, and I'm like, Ma, I want you to meet my new girlfriend. My mother's typical black mother. She in the kitchen cooking. Okay, let me just do this real quick. Okay. Oh, hi, babe. Oh, you got some big old titties. Ma! No! Oh, shut up, boy. Girl, come sit down. You gotta hydrate them things. Aren't you tired?
Oh my God. Wow. She can feed the whole world.
There comes a time when you heed a certain call. My crazy ass. Wait, I'm sorry. I'm so busy telling you the story. I just want to keep talking to you.
What was it like?
What, with the feeding those titties?
Shut up, Rick. I never did like you, Rick. My daughter. So Terry and my mother remained wonderful, and turned out remained wonderful. And, you keep fooling around here and there.
Yeah.
And then one day Terry says, I'm pregnant. Okay. What are we going to do? What do you mean, what are we going to do? We're not together. I said, yeah, but we be good parents. Be good parents. So let's make it work. And it happened, and it was just absolute. Her name was Misa Love Smith, and it's just been absolutely beautiful. And I've never known love like that. I mean, just the love I had. Terry says I'm a sucker for her. You know what I'm saying? But I am. I don't care. I'll do anything for her. It's amazing. Because Terry didn't have any kids. I didn't have any kids.
Yeah.
So I thought.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay.
So you only have one.
It was one. Well. I'm in Shanghai, China.
Oh, wow.
I go online and I get a message on Facebook. Hello, Carlton. Do you remember me? I was your girlfriend in 1982. But yeah, I remember every girl I slept with. You want to do it again? Rematch? No, asshole.
Rematch.
That's not why I'm calling you. I want to be thoroughly convinced that I was the best. Okay?
Yes.
So he goes, no. I said, well, I'm going to tell you that I found out that my oldest daughter's father is not her father, and I believe it's you. I'm like, oh, that's bullshit, because I wasn't making babies like that.
Yeah.
Nah, I don't want to hear it. Terry and Misa happen to be in China with me. I said, I got one daughter that's in that room asleep, so get out of that. Because people see you online, they think you're rich all the time. I ain't trying to hear that. Terry is like Florence Nightingale and Mother Teresa. Okay, so let me just talk to her. See, I don't give a shit. I don't care what she wants. Long story longer. Terry talks to her and says, Carlton, they just want to know where the girl comes from. She don't want anything. Yeah. So let's take this DNA test. And it's all invasive and they,
Yeah.
So I took the test. They swabbed me up. They had me do it on Skype to make sure.
It was that you would,
Because I could have been, hey, yo, Lee, put this in your mouth.
Yeah.
Baby Chinese.
Yeah.
So 3 weeks later, I'm coming up saying, now I'm in China. I'm doing 6 nights a week, 3 shows a night. I love it. That gives my day focus. I love it. I get on stage about 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning. Terry calls me. Carlton, I got the test back. She's yours. Like, what? Yeah,
How
Terry.
old was she?
We get into that also. Okay. Check it out. Carlton, it's 99.9%. Yo, there's still one more guy out there. Find that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? She said, no, Carlton. Give it up. She's yours. She was 35 years old.
Wow.
I have a 35-year-old daughter. I walked around China that night crying my eyes out. Then I flew back to the States to meet her, and it has been absolutely wonderful ever since. Her and Misa love each other. We all love each other. We talk. We get along. But when I met her, she had a child.
Oh, so you had a granddaddy.
And he meets me. He goes, hi, granddaddy. You little bastard. You ever call me that again? It's your highness or your royal regal sir.
And when I come in here, you make sure you give me my cape and you put it over me.
and no eye contact. No, but it's been wonderful and absolutely beautiful.
How was that conversation like the first time meeting her?
I smothered her with hugs and kisses. You're mine. You're mine. It's all love now. And her
was it awkward for her, or was it her?
Well, no.
What was her energy like? To finally meet you,
she was crying, but I come in. I'm like this all the time, and for the most part, it's just like, oh wow, you're fun, you're happy. I wasn't awkward. Your mind is official. Come on, let's start loving. My Terry had her best friend passed away from cancer, and she adopted her 2 daughters. So sometimes you may hear that I have 4 daughters. But that's just because she raised them.
Beautiful.
Yeah,
she raised them. They're stunningly beautiful. So I refer to them as my daughters. I really only have 2 biological daughters.
But you have 4.
Misa, Misa and Danae. So it's been wonderful, Oh, wow. Did you see that post I put up recently where this girl came to my house and I said, hey, take a picture with this record. Did you see that?
Yes.
That's her mother.
Oh, really?
I saw that.
I went to see her in Bermuda, and they had an unreleased James Brown record. I said, I'm stealing this shit.
Yeah, you stole that? Hey, yo, that was a good call.
You know what I'm saying? I don't want to take a chance and ask them when they tell me no, because then I got to kill everybody in the house. You know what I'm saying? Because this record is leaving with me, okay? Anyway, so go ahead.
How do you... Well, I want to ask now... I feel like we could talk for days and hours. What's your process like creating a song, writing a song? What's that process like for you?
You'll say something and I'll just take note of it, and I'll start writing some lyrics, and somebody will send me a track and I'll start singing to that. Or I have Logic in my computer. I'll just start putting together beats, and it could be anything. Like I'm blown away by your spiritual name being the spiritual wind and hers being the spiritual cloud. There's a song and a story in there somewhere.
Yeah.
And I'm going to think about it later on, but I just think that's absolutely beautiful. The two of you are made for each other. You were created for each other. So I think that's what, so it can be anything. You know what I'm saying? The wind and cloud part, that's beautiful. You know what I mean? So it can be anything. Inspiration is all around. Sam Cooke said it's observation. Just look at, and I tell people, don't write according to slang, because that will go out of style. Write what's real and true and genuine, things that people do and say every day.
What was the hardest record for you to write?
None of them.
None.
Because I can write. You can give me a topic right now and I'll start writing about it. It just flows because I love to write.
I mean like hard in the sense of like,
like
hard.
You had to go through something, you have to go through a journey. And you had to say it took you back to difficult moments, but then you were able to overcome them. Something like that.
No, believe it or not, I don't have any stories like that. The situation itself may have been difficult, but once I've got through that, singing or writing about it is a breeze. That's therapeutic.
Wow.
Now, interestingly enough, I found some cassettes in here, and I played a cassette of one of my earliest recordings, and I actually began to feel some way about a little emotion because I thought of how far I've come. I remember how I didn't have any confidence when I did it, and I used to, make fun of me. So just a little while ago, I got emotional listening to it. I'm pointing to it because it's still right there in the thing.
It took you back to that time.
I'm like, damn, I've come a long way since that was so long, you know? But no, nothing has been difficult to write. Sometimes it's difficult to not say all the things you want to say. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because I just won't do that. You know what I mean? There's some things I won't write. I may want to tell it all. I'll say everything about me. I won't say anything about somebody else. Right. You know what I'm saying? So, but no, it's not difficult to create it all. That's the fun. I would think you know that, don't you, Rick? Isn't it easy for you to write? I
would say yes, but what my thing is, there's moments for me where it will be difficult to face certain things that I don't want to face again. That's what I meant by that. So like, so for me, like, talking about not having the relationship with my father, not really having that relationship was when I was writing the first show was difficult for me to revisit because I suppressed it for so long inside that I never dealt with it. Right. Where now here I am, taking the Band-Aid off and now like crying and really.
Are you ripping it off or you taking it off slowly?
Well, taking it off slowly.
Okay.
Taking it off slowly where I had to like really dive into it and really allow myself to heal because I never
in
really
any way did that inspire your dad a series?
Yes, that did. Writing this, being a father inspired that as well because here I am now just looking at my daughter and just thinking one day like, how can anyone just leave like that? How can you leave?
Exactly.
Knowing
that you have a child somewhere in the world.
Knowing that you have a child, right?
Yes.
And then you just go. Or you just don't even want to be around them. And I'm looking at my daughter, and it's only been 2 years, right? She's 2 years old. And I'm like, but 2 years is enough for me to make me stay. Fuck that. 1 week was enough for me to make me stay. You know what I'm saying?
Like, I know why.
But
somebody.
Also, but here's the thing, right? I can see both sides, right? There was times in the beginning, I'm a new dad. I'm very selfish with my time, and here I am have to dedicate not only to my wife and my daughter. It's like a whole new world for me. And I remember one day it was just very rough, and I looked at Cloud. And I said, "Now I know why fathers leave." And she says, "What?" And I'm like, "No. I said, now I see why fathers leave. This is not meant for everybody. Not everyone has it inside or want to go to that level. That's why I
tell women all the time, not every woman's supposed to be a mother. Everybody, all my children. No, not everybody's meant to be a mother. It's even more difficult for them. But I hear you, Ray.
Yeah. So, but as not giving the dads who did leave escape route, but I was like, no, I can understand why they would have left because it is a lot. And
but to me, you know what? And I must say this, I must respectfully disagree. To me, yes, a lot, but I'm sorry. You're in now. Exactly. You got to do it. This is a life. This ain't like you walking away from a car that keeps messing up and you leave it by the side of the road. This is a life,
Right.
Yeah, I mean, there's a reason for everything.
You're helping to learn and grow. This is a gift.
Exactly.
Right, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Your role right now is to help your child become the person they are. So you,
and especially if you have a girl. Remember, Chris Rock said, "If your daughter winds up on the pole, you have failed as a father."
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I didn't know you guys had a daughter. God bless her. What's her name?
Thank you. Kiara Joy Herrera.
How do you spell her first name?
Chiara. Kiara.
God bless her. God.
Kiara
She's
Joy
2 years
Herrera.
old.
Yeah, 2.5.
Well, you know it. She's gonna be 18. And
yeah. Slow it down.
The boys. They call you. They're gonna be coming around. So you gotta work on your game, Rick.
Mm-hmm.
I sit them down. And I ask them a series of questions.
Yeah. Okay. What's that?
How long can you hold your breath underwater? Do you have any marks on your body which the cops could identify you by? How's your will to live? What blood type are you? I just need to know. Did anyone see you come here?
Good, we're recording.
Oh, Daddy, would you stop? What'd you say, Cloud? What'd you say?
I'm glad we're recording this. Now he can go look back.
No, Rick. No, Rick. Let me handle it. They'll never tie us together.
Yep.
You handle mine. I handle yours.
Uncle Carlton got it.
Yeah, man.
Carlton, I wanted to ask you how you were talking about how you looked back and you got emotional of how far you overcome.
Yeah.
Where you at now? Is there anything that you would like to enhance within you? And if not, what about your journey have you learned the most and you're most appreciative of?
Personally, and it's silly and it's vanity. I always want to lose weight.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I wish I could sing far better and do all this great. I'm sure I do, but I'm happy with what I do. I fight the fight I fight. That's it. I always want to lose weight. I'm always struggling with that, but nothing I really want to enhance. Yeah, I wish I had better management or official management, but all that's coming. I'm still putting in the work. I have a bunch of releases coming out this year. Thank God, finally. Mm-hmm. So all of that's coming. I'm happy. No matter what happened. You know about my little COVID thing, New Year's Eve? Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. No matter what. Even that made me stop and think about this. I said, wait a minute. I'm blessed. This could be so much worse. So just take it easy and relax. Because, I got trapped off. I was stuck in a hotel room.
In a hotel room, yeah.
I said, look, I'm in a luxurious suite overlooking the ocean, 24-hour room service. Calm down, take it easy. So New Year's Eve, I put on my tuxedo and just danced around the room. I ordered drinks for me. I turned them down. I asked myself to dance. I said no because I don't date black guys. I made it. I made it. It was me.
You had to make it work, man.
I flirted with myself.
You made the best of it.
Exactly.
I was having a ball in that hotel room. But it makes you realize what it's like to be confined.
Yeah.
And then I didn't say this on social media. The promoter, man, just sneak out of the hotel, just get downstairs. Mm-hmm. I can have an ambulance at the back entrance, and I got a guy that'll forge your papers, make them negative, will get you on the flight. I'm like, hey, let me tell you something. I don't mess around in foreign countries because these hotels are phenomenal. They're like sprawling. It's an oasis, but it's surrounded by these majestic mountains that you have to drive through. Yeah. These cops catch me back up in these mountains. You ain't gonna know what happened to me for 2 to 3 months, if anything.
Yep.
I said, no, I'm not taking a chance like that. 1, 2, that's kind of fucked up that you would do that. I tested positive for COVID. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, are you guys okay? You guys didn't catch anything, did you?
We did. Last year, we ended up getting COVID, but thankfully we pulled through and stuff like that. It sucks.
You know something? Every year on New Year's Eve, I do Dubai. If it's not the Maldives, I do Dubai. 2019, going into 2020, I'm performing at the New Year's Eve, Dubai on the beach, thousands of people. Yeah. Come back on the plane, I'm sick. I get back to New York, I'm very sick. Never been sick like this before. And then it goes away. And then my daughter and Misa and her mother, because I always go see them first before I come home. They got very, very sick for a couple of weeks, and then it went away. We had the luxury of not knowing what it was. But you can't tell me that shit showed up in March of 2020.
Till this day, before it started escalating, I got very, very sick for like three weeks to a month.
Yeah. You had it.
That I had to do all these reports and all that stuff, and everything was coming as like, it's a viral infection. You just gotta let it take its course. I would have these fevers. I'll have this cramp in my leg.
And you ain't never felt like that before.
Never felt like. It felt like the flu, but a little stronger. And thankfully I pulled through. And then probably 7 months later, this whole COVID thing started coming up. And I said, I think I had this. And
wait, now did Cloud get it?
No, because
the
it's
three of us
funny.
got it last
No. When I feel like I first got it. She did it and the baby didn't, right? Because the doctor said, look, just to be safe, stay in the room for like a couple weeks.
He was in another room.
And I'm thankful that he did that. So for like 2 weeks, I just stood in that room.
And I would just bring him things, literally like how they have everybody now. That's what I was doing.
Wow. Yeah, we had the luxury of not knowing. You know, so check it. So then 2020 going into 2021, the promoter calls me. We want you to come to New Year's Eve. I was like, my man, no. If half the people that were there last year, they're still going to be a super spreader event.
Yeah.
Because he said, oh, well, we don't have as much money to pay you. But I said, no, I'm not going to do it. Called me back 2 days later. They've tripled the price. Damn. I said, now you mess with my integrity. Because if I can't do it for 25 cents, I'm not going to do it for 75 cents. Yeah. No. So then this year I decided to do it 2021 into 2022. We see what happened. And we see where he's at also because they were willing to do anything. Forge documents and... So, it can be a grimy business at times. It can be, it can be crazy.
How do you keep true to yourself within that grimy business? How do you keep continuing to be true to yourself?
It's almost cliche to say it. Yeah. You have to do what is right. So you can always tell yourself, I'm doing what is right. For example, today, I'm doing a record for Defected Records. It's a dance record. It's not my soul thing. It's high-powered dance music. They booked time. I was in the studio today. They booked time with this engineer. And by the time I got there, the engineer said, Carlton, they booked 4 hours. And the thing is, I work very, very fast. I can do, because I come in prepared. I got my lyrics, my background parts, my lead parts. I'm ready. So like today, I knocked out 6 songs in 2 hours. So I'm there to get it done. I've been practicing. I'm ready.
Yeah.
He said, they booked 4 hours. We don't need 4 hours for this one song. I said, well, you know what? Then we can work on some other stuff. I can do some other stuff. I'm like, nah, you know what? Let me contact them and tell them, do you have any other songs you may want me to do so I can utilize all 4 of these hours? That's the right thing to do. And that's a small thing. But if you do things like that, you get into the habit of doing things like that. And that's the only way to remain true to yourself. You should see people who will just sell each other out for next to nothing. You know?
How do you feel seeing, I guess, like, I would say almost like, I would say like the new school, but people who are fans of the soul music, right? And they're doing it now. So like people like Duran Jones, who I love, Kelly Finnegan, Charles Bradley, Sharon Jones, people, Lee Fields. How do you feel like those? Of course, the newer generation now, kind of like almost carrying that torch.
I'm coming for all of them. We cool. I mean, Sharon Jones, Charles Bradley, God bless them. God rest them. But everybody else, we laugh, we cool. Don't put us on the same show. I'm a James Brown your ass into the ground. You know what I'm saying? I'm coming for you. We can go laugh and joke afterwards. You know what's crazy? Sharon Jones and Charles Bradley were on Daptone.
Yes.
Daptone Records. And boom, boom, like back to back. Yeah, Amy Winehouse also. Winehouse, John. So I remember I went there for a party once. I took Cherry with me. Cherry said, something about this place. I don't want to say it. And I'd go in there to try to put some music out a few years ago. They weren't feeling it. So when my album came out in Finland, all of a sudden Daptone is now distributing my album. So to walk back through that office and see box of my records there, I'm like, the universe works. I'm in Amsterdam or Netherlands, someplace. After the show, I'm signing autographs. This is 2019. Signing out, taking pictures. There's one guy comes up to me, wants me to sign his album, and it's cool, it's great. And that's it. We didn't really talk about anything too great. We just talked about we love soul music. And then about an hour later, I leave. I get my clothes, whatever, and I'm walking down. Those cobblestone streets and those. You keep waiting for Dracula the Wolfman to jump out at you. It looks eerie like that. They got vultures and shit.
Yeah.
So I'm walking down these streets, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, here comes that same guy. He just materialized. I'm like, oh, hey, my man. Good to see you again. Oh, mate, great show. You're wonderful. Blah, blah, blah. We'll keep it up. This and the other. And before he turns to walk away, he looks at me and says, hey, don't forget the Daptone curse.
Oh.
What's the Daptone curse? I never heard of it.
I never heard of it either.
Me either, but I knew what he meant. And keep in mind, we hadn't talked about Daptone, Sharon Jones, or Charles Bradley at all.
Yeah.
He just said that shit out of the blue. Because the 2 biggest stars died. The 3 biggest stars died.
Yeah.
He said, hey, Don't forget the Daptone curse, and just walked on off into the night.
Mm.
I'm like, wow, man, whatever that meant,
Yeah.
I took it. You know what I'm saying? So everybody's always, "Are you going to try to be back on Daptone?" I'm not rushing to go back. There's something I found with these indie labels, Rick, is that there's no promotional plan. They just throw records out there. There's no marketing.
Yeah.
There's no,
And whatever sticks, sticks.
Yeah. I spoke with a few of these people, even my label. You know, you little white labels or whatever that do soul music. You love soul music. You love blah, 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 blah. Well, here's a guy who was there.
Yeah.
I saw all these people.
Right.
I met that guy. So why wouldn't you try to put together some sort of marketing campaign which show how authentic I am? It's like authentic. That just never occurred to them.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, I'm not that promotion is a lost art. I'd say that. I say it's a lost art, you know?
It is.
Cloud, do you know I saw Hector Lavoe and the Fania All-Stars on 101st Street between Lexington and Park, just doing a concert at the Youth Center on 101st.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
You know what's so funny? I had a one of my old jobs. I connected to one of the old dudes. He was a Puerto Rican dude. His name was Epi, and he was in Lexington too. He grew up there. He said, "Oh, they had the best." He was big. He said they had the best drugs there because he was into drugs at that time. He said they had the best drugs there. He said, I used to do. He said I used to smoke with Hector Lavoe. I was always with them because at night they used to come and look for drugs after their shows. I used to see them a lot. So he had the best stories too. But he used to say, he says, I saw the best, the best concerts, around Lexington. He said I used to always be around them too and be right next to them because they perform, and yes, there was, stars, but they was also part of the people. So they was just
and that's the thing, you had to love them for that. Have you ever heard this? Hold on.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Meditation?
Yeah.
By the TNT Band. That record takes me right back to 103rd and Lexington.
Yeah.
Something about that record, because the guy's not really a singer, but emotionally he's caught up in that track, and it's like, oh man. Because if you hadn't heard, I was going to tell you to look that up later.
Yeah, I know that one.
Oh man.
What is one of your, I guess, favorite moments you performing your music that to this day that you still think about? Maybe there was a concert that still sticks to you to this day that of you performing.
There's been a lot of them. There's been a lot.
Well, what comes to mind?
What's interesting, what comes to mind, you know who Jeffrey Osborne is?
Yes.
He's a major R&B guy. Yes. And he used to be in one of the major bands called LTD, back major hit records. He's performing at BB King's, and he's got this song, Can You Woo Woo Woo? Can You Woo Woo? And he goes, as part of his show, he goes around and gives the microphone to people to sing, and they all try to sing it like him. So this night, I'm in the audience, we're watching the show, and I realized, oh shit, he's coming towards me. I'm not a crooner. I can't sing like Jeffrey Osborne. And he gives you the mic, and I literally didn't know what I was going to sing until I opened my mouth. And have you seen that clip?
No.
I'll send it to you. It was a moment, because he was, whoa. It was a great moment, and the crowd went crazy. And I didn't try to belabor the moment. I got in and got out. Boom, 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 boom. Get in and get out. You know what I'm saying? The thing is, my daughter was there. I told my daughter, now, Mish, you just never know where life is going to take you. When I was 16 years old, I got into an elevator, 595 Madison Avenue, A&M Records, the Police, Janet Jackson. Yeah. And as the elevator door is closing, a hand comes in, and all 12 members of LTD get on the elevator.
Damn.
And we all ride it together. I'm like, oh shit, I just bought tickets to see you guys with the OJs at the Garden. We're going to whip their ass. You be at the show, we're going to whip their ass. And who would have ever thought I'd get to sing with them many years later? I'm going to definitely see that clip later. That moment stands out because it was so unexpected. And he was so cool. He signed his poster. We took pictures, But for my songs, it's when I was doing the tour behind the album, 1634 Lexington Avenue, and 2 days into the tour, I realized that every now and then I would hear some commotions in the crowd when I go into a song. And I'm thinking something happened or whatever. So the promoter told me, no, they're clapping because they know these songs. They have bought your album. Nice. I'm like, oh shit, that's what that feels like. Yeah, Carlton, they know the songs. That's what that is. So that's a beautiful moment, and I love that. But for the most part, they're all. Yeah. I've had some great moments on stage. I'm gonna have a lot more. I'll tell you something that is different. I no longer pick women up. I used to pick women up with my arms and put them up on my shoulders.
Yeah.
I did that someplace, and the crowd goes crazy. They love it. And I'm very respectful, so even boyfriends know I don't mean no harm. I'm going to give you a girl back eventually. You know? I'll send her home. But I did it someplace, and after the show, this black guy comes up to me and says, yo, brother, you're enjoyable, man. I enjoyed you. I like your act. I like what you're doing. And then he paused for a beat. I'll never forget. He said, but all it's going to take is for one white girl to say you touched her inappropriately. ... Say no more. Because the whole cancel culture thing was just starting. And it may not even be her. It'll be the girl in her crowd that you didn't pick who's jealous. And when she comes back, why you let him touch you like that? That's assault. You should. So I don't do that at all anymore. I used to put them up. Check this out. I bring them up on stage and I dance them off stage and then I say, stand in the chair. Get up on my shoulders. And they usually would, oh, no. Don't worry. I can pick your big ass up. Don't worry about it. Just get up there. I'm good. And I bring them back out and dance. The crowd loves it. This one show, I put her up there on my shoulder. As I'm bringing her back out, and Clyde, I say this with respect. As I bring her back out, I feel, on the neck, I'm like, her pussy is hot. Usually they're room temperature. But hers was, I'm like, she must really like me. So I'm doing my thing, blah, blah. Okay, I'm going to take a quick break. I'll be right back. Hey! And I dance off the stage. I put it down, and she's looking at me like, baby, it's okay. You made it. You did it. It's okay. Just go out that way. Thank you very much for being a part of the show. So by now, the curtain has come down, and as I walk back out to the stage to go to the dressing room, I see some water on the stage. You know where this is going, Klowski.
Yeah, she gave you a golden shower on your neck.
I'm like, was I sweating that much? Your mind thinks all sorts of things. And just then my guitar player, who's a girl, Turkish girl who's on tour with me, walks up and goes, Carlton. She was still holding her guitar. I saw it happening, but there was nothing I could do. You saw what? Oh my God!
Oh.
Yes.
Oh my God.
But believe it or not, I was embarrassed for her.
Yeah.
Like, oh, she must feel horrible. So when I came back out after, washing myself off and changing clothes, she was still sitting in the audience. I'm like, you didn't go home? So when I came back out in the audience, I'm like, thank you, I'm glad to be back. We're going to kick it up. Hey, baby. Hi, you all right? And she's looking at me like, I just peed on your neck. And you're okay with that?
Yeah.
She said,
Wait, what'd you say, Kyle? She thought it was period blood.
No, but know what? I said, and I've had women do all kind of things. So I mean, it's not the worst thing in the world. God bless. I was more embarrassed for her because you got to figure when she woke up that morning, she never thought that by 9 o'clock that night she'd be straddling a black man's neck.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying?
That's a story now. She's like, I peed in a black man's neck,
and he loved it.
Yeah, he loved it.
I used to say to them, I'd break it down. Boom. Baby, can I ask you a question? Yeah. Am I the first black man between your legs? And the people would always crack up. But look at one day, this lady got my ass. I said, baby, am I the first black man between your legs? She said, today.
That's a good one.
Shut my shit down. I said, okay, today. Now put me down and shut up. Okay? Anyway, I'm sorry. You have no idea how much I'm enjoying talking. Y'all feel like family, man.
Yeah, this is great. This is good. This is going to be like a 2-hour.
We got to get together. I'm going to have Terry cook for y'all. What do y'all like to eat?
I love it all. I love it all.
We got you.
I love it.
Rick,
yeah.
Can she cook?
Yeah, she could cook. She could cook. She could cook. Yep. She could cook.
Well, what's her best dish? Frosted Flakes.
I would say she makes a great lasagna.
Oh,
yeah.
A lot of meat, a lot of cheese.
Yeah.
Klowski, hook me up, please.
Yeah. I'll hook you up.
But you want to know something else?
What?
If it's sandwiches, I have to have Miracle Whip. I love Miracle Whip.
Oh,
Hellman's is for condemned prisoners. That's some shit they feed you at your last meal. Now, other meat and cheese, I have to have ketchup. So
you like
until
Miracle Whip with ketchup.
No. Sandwiches, Miracle Whip, meat, cheese dish, ketchup. So until the pandemic, I would do the entire month of August every year in Italy. I had a residency in Italy.
Yeah.
And they would serve me lasagna, and I would put ketchup on it.
Oh,
They didn't appreciate that shit at all.
damn.
I don't even.
But it
We love
baby,
Italy. We went to Italy.
it tasted good. Ketchup, put ketchup on it.
If it tastes
Yeah,
good
I'm
for
like,
you. I mean,
I'm
ketchup
eating
is
this shit.
tomato, so there's
There you
tomato
go.
sauce there. If you
But
think
Rick,
about it.
I didn't really enjoy myself in Italy that much, so please tell me what you liked about it.
Oh, you didn't enjoy? Well, I just like.
Not really.
Well, we went.
Where in Italy did you go?
The southern part, I was like in the Gallipoli.
Okay.
Well, we did the tourist thing, like Rome and stuff like that.
Okay.
So just to see that history was like, oh my god. And then and then we went to what was that water place? I forgot what it was called. Venice. We went to Venice.
Okay.
So we did like a lot of tourist
That was some funny shit, Rick. What's that water? You know, place with the water.
That's that hood shit. What's the place with the water shit?
Venice.
We don't travel much. What's that water place we've been to? Not the water park, the water place.
What's the place with all the shit on the ceiling? Sistine Chapel.
Yeah.
You know what disappointed me? I thought I was going to see these amazing fashions, and I didn't.
That's Milan. I heard Milan is where.
See, I didn't go there. Yes,
that's what they told me. That if you want to go for fashion and stuff, and it's like New York is Milan.
Okay, all right.
But
I'm in this
and stuff like that.
I was staying in this town, like outside, and it's a small town, but I love them. Nobody speaks English, so trying to just order something simple is like going to the gym. But the whole town adopted me. They, so it's great, but I just don't. And it's Africa hot there in the southern part. The boot, it is so hot there. It's like, oh my god.
Did you ever go to New Orleans? I know I've been to New Orleans, and I have like a special connection to that place just because of all the music and stuff like that. So I would love to know if you ever been to New Orleans and felt the connection there with the music.
And I said this to somebody the other day. I have yet to go to Africa, Japan, or New Orleans. I have never been to, and I want to go there so bad. Is it the same after Katrina?
Yeah, they pretty much build it back up again. At that.
Wow.
But it was so great for me. Like I went there. People go to party, show your tits, all that stuff. I went there with my spiritual brother, just strictly for the music. We was like, there you go. The girls gone wild. We went there for the music and we were so connected. To me, it felt like similar to like you seeing all these, people growing up in a sense that like it's these hometown heroes, just everyone just playing music.
Did you see the Neville Brothers?
Yes. So it's just like it's just so much history there that you will appreciate. I think you got to go there. Yeah,
I want to perform there. Have you been to Memphis, Tennessee?
No.
I was gonna. Oh my god, you're gonna go because right now I was gonna ask you, have you been to Memphis, Tennessee?
You got to go to Memphis. Beale Street is amazing, but then there's also Graceland. Elvis's house and the Plain, but then right down the road is Al Green's church, and if he's not on tour, he's there preaching.
Yo, he's still killing it. I saw a video of him 2 years ago performing at Radio City, and he is still.
He gained a crazy amount of weight, but yes, that is.
That's what I'm saying. No, I was gonna say, I was like, he got fat as shit, but he is still killing it.
Hold up.
Oh man, that's great.
That's your daughter?
Yeah. She didn't give a shit that it was Al Green.
She don't know who he is.
She was 2 years old at that time. I got a bunch of pictures with Al Green. You know something? Al Green at one point was the biggest sex symbol. He was the hottest thing in the world with Let's Stay Together. Mm-hmm. And I went to see his show at the Apollo, and I was the only male, I realized, within the first 10 rows. It was shrieking, screaming women. So he wouldn't go anywhere near the front of the stage. They would grab him, clawing at him. Mm-hmm. I used to have a little autograph book, and I would run up in between songs or when they were about to go off. I always had it timed. This time I didn't time it right. And as I jumped up, Al started singing again. Mm-hmm. And he literally went, spending my day thinking about you, girl. And he leaned down. He saw me. He leaned down and kept singing into my face. As he was signing the autograph. His breath smelled like peppermint. I'll never forget it. As he was signing the autograph, I'm like, she's like this. Yeah. And he leaned back up. And as I turned around to go back to my seat, these women, these hordes of women, they jumped me to try to dig this autograph out of my hands.
Damn.
They were like literally trying just pulling on me. Because you were close to me, breathed on your face. We want the skin from your face. They were going crazy.
What I love about him as a performer is that you see him physically feeling it. There's this track that How Can You Mend a Broken Heart? I saw that.
Don't get me started.
It was live. And everything, his mouth, eyebrows, hands, fingers,
Don't get me started.
And then there was another live one that he's got. Oh, that I love that he did. That track that he did by it was a oh my god.
It'll come to you. Come on.
It was a cover song that he did.
Well, How Can You Mend a Broken Heart as a cover? I didn't know the Bee Gees did that first.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I thought. Oh,
that's a Bee Gees song.
I thought.
Al Green did it first.
Yeah,
No.
I thought.
Oh.
Wait, are you thinking of For the Good Times, a Willie Nelson song?
No. Well, you talk about the cover.
Al Green, the cover, yeah.
The cover. No, it's a classic song that everyone hold on. Oh my god.
Come on, look for it. Now I'm dying to know.
It's a famous song by Cook.
Sound a change is gonna come.
There you go. Yep.
Oh yeah. He did it at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Yes.
He destroyed it.
That was another live one. I was like, oh
Yes.
my god.
Yes, that man. I've seen that man so many times. He used to give out roses all the time, and I would get the roses and bring them home to my mother. She's like, "You these Al Green roses." Because the women would go crazy for him, man. God bless him. God bless him. He's still doing it.
Besides James Brown, who was someone else that you really connected to musically?
Bobby Womack.
Oh my God.
He's not as well known, but I've got a million Bobby Womack stories.
Okay, the first song that I heard by him that I want to know was Across 110th Street. I said, who the fuck is this dude? One day I'm just listening to the radio, and I'm like, Across 110th. I'm like, who the fuck is this dude? And then I went down that whole Bobby Womack hole, and I started getting into it. Yeah, that's another thing. To this day, I get songs, I hear them, I Shazam them, and then I just get lost. I'm like, who's this? And
that's the beauty of it all.
Yeah.
Did you ever hear the demo version?
No.
I gotta send you that.
Yeah.
It sounds altogether different than it's him with an acoustic guitar.
Oh wow!
Wait, let me make a note.
Then I started getting into like Women's Gotta Have It, Fly Me to the Moon, Nobody Wants You, Daylight, Fire and Rain. I would say,
now Fire and Rain is a James Taylor song. That's not Bobby Womack.
Oh, okay. But he's on that track, isn't he?
Yeah.
No. Do you know who James Taylor is?
Yes.
Famous as could possibly. Okay, hold on. Let me write Jeffrey Osborne, 110th Street. I'm gonna sing you some of my Bobby Womack stuff. Fly Me to the Moon.
Oh,
I did that. James Taylor.
I like Secrets.
Oh, what? Rick, if I didn't respect you enough already, okay? Wow. See, I'm gonna sing you the acoustic version of Secrets.
There's an acoustic version of that? Oh,
me and Bobby.
So what you got on vinyl? I got everything on my iPad. Like I got tons of music that I downloaded.
Look at me and Bobby go back. I'm 23 years old, working at Prelude Records, a premier dance label, D-Train, stuff like that. And my boss knew that I was trying to write songs. He's like, man, you can't write no songs. You probably can't write no fucking songs. Joey, I write songs. I'm going to take you to be the real songwriter, okay? Don't you fuck this up. You be at such a time, I'm taking you to be the real songwriter. We go to the Sheraton Hotel on 7th Avenue, 50-something Street. As we're walking in, clearly we're headed towards these two men who were seated at the back. I have a little boom box with me. It's the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
As we walk up, I'm like, oh, shit. It's Bobby Womack. And I'm standing up flipping like, oh, man, because I first saw him at the Apollo a long time ago. Whatever. So it's about 5 seconds before I even look at the guy that he's with. And I'm like, Sly Stone. Wow. Oh, shit. Yeah. Bobby Womack and Sly Stone. I've met Bobby so many times and talked with Bobby so many times. I still, you know what? His brother Friendly might want to talk to you if you ever want to do a pie. He's the last surviving Womack brother.
Oh, I would love to do that.
You think I got some stories? This guy was out there when rock and roll was just beginning. He's got a million stories. Let me try to facilitate that.
Yeah,
you know?
I would love that.
Now I'm gonna tell you something about James Taylor, Friendly Womack. I'm gonna sing some other stuff. James Taylor had a guy singing background for him for 40 years. I'm going to send you an email with this guy and some of the songs that he wrote, and it will blow your mind. His voice will blow your mind.
That's what I loved about that's what I loved about getting vinyl, or even when I got a CD. Right, my generation was a CD, but then as I got older, I was like, I want to get vinyls. It's going, like you said, we touched on that, going to the back and see who played the instrument, who wrote it, because you have the performer that's singing it, but the motherfucker probably didn't even write that song. He just performed it. He added a different element to it. I started doing research, started noticing that, wow, maybe it's the same 10 motherfuckers producing and creating shit. And I got hooked on that. And then I'm like,
reading album credits.
Oh my God.
Sometimes I'd buy an album because of who was playing on it. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know the artist, but this must be good if these guys are on it. You know what I mean? Hey, the stuff that this guy wrote is gonna blow your mind. I'm a James Taylor fanatic. I just love his voice. Met him once. We took a picture together. Very nice guy. Many years later, I'm home from tour, and I'm walking up Broadway. And you know how people sell albums in the street?
Yeah.
Like, oh shit, there was an album by James Taylor. I didn't have it. 50 Cent. I said, sure, I'll buy it. 50 Cent, sure. I go into a Cuban restaurant over on 72nd Street, and then I sit down and put the album up on the table because I figure if I put it in the chair, I'll walk out and forget it. So I put it up on the table. I'm looking through the menu. There's a table full of white people that keep looking over me, pointing and murmuring. I'm used to that because I'm usually dressed up so they think I'm some other famous black. Aren't you Diana Ross? No. But aren't you Martin Luther King? They just try to think of any famous black person they can think of. Yeah, it's me, Martin. Call me Marty Moore, okay? So this lady finally comes over to me and says, I'm sorry, did he leave that here? I said, excuse me? The album, did he leave that here? No, this is mine. I just bought this in the street. I just saw it. She goes, oh my God. James Taylor was sitting exactly where you're sitting. Wow. He got up and walked out, and then you walked in 2 minutes after.
That's
put that out
crazy.
I've got a million stories of shit. Do you like Hall & Oates?
Yeah, I love Hall & Oates, yeah.
Okay, I was a big Hall & Oates fan in the 70s.
Sarah Smile was like one of my favorites.
There we go. I thought I saw Daryl Hall walking down the street. I chased after this guy because I wanted to get his autograph. Excuse me. I said, oh, shit, I'm sorry, man. I thought you was somebody else. The guy laughed, said, no problem. I'm sorry. I felt so stupid. Turned to walk down Avenue of the Americans and ran right into Daryl Hall. I can't begin. I kid you. That's why I started writing this book. Because when I tell people these stories, I'm like, this doesn't. You know about me meeting Michael Jackson, right?
No, I don't know about that one.
You better say that story. You better say that story.
Hold on, Klowski. That's my new nickname for you. I don't want to hear it. Okay? Hold on. Where's me and where's Mikey Mike at? Man, I'm walking down. Wait, I'm going to find it. Talk amongst yourselves. Okay. Hold on. Where's this at, man?
Picture?
Hold on 1 sec. Okay. Here we go. I'm walking down. I'm working at Arista Records. And they had a boy band at the time called the Bay City Rollers. Their fans were always outside going crazy looking for them. And they always had cameras with them. So I began to get to know them after a while. And I slipped them little test presses. I worked in the mailroom. Yeah. So there's one girl I knew. I said, hey, you're here again. Yeah. I'm going to get some lunch. Let's go grab some lunch together. So we went to eat. As we're walking back down the block, at the corner of my eye, I saw a black guy coming, but he had a goofy walk. That's my first thought. Yeah. Who is this brother with the goofy walk? Yeah. Oh shit! It's Michael Jackson. Okay.
That's great.
1977. I stop him. Mike. Hi. What's up, Mike? Well, I'm just here in New York. They were filming. He was filming The Wiz. In New York. Okay. Yeah. This picture was taken right across the street from where Trump Towers is right now. Okay. But I loved it. I said, Mike, you know what? I sing and I write songs, but I would love to write a song for you and your group. Okay, well, here. He takes out a card with his father's face on it, writes the number on the back. Just call this number. Thanks, Mike. Then we went to take the picture, and then out of nowhere, the entire world recognized him at once. That's the only way I can describe it. Because we were standing there talking for a couple of minutes, and people just walking by. Then all of a sudden, everybody just went, whoosh, Michael Jackson, and swarmed him. And I remember looking at his face as it happened. He was kind of like, because now he's stuck.
Yeah.
But he stood there, signed every autograph, spoke to every person. So when I look at this picture, I wish I could go back in time and say, Mike, in a few years you're gonna do some really stupid shit. Please don't do it. Please don't. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Leave your face alone. Leave the little boys alone.
Yeah.
You wanna laugh again?
Did you ever call that number?
Yes, I did.
Oh, okay.
Yes, I
what
did.
happened?
I said, well, you submit the song, send the song in, and you know, and of course, as a kid, I didn't do it like I should have.
Okay.
So I'm at a party and I see her, and she's going off. You tell that motherfucker, I don't give a fuck. If I don't fuck that shit, I would have. Said, excuse me, can I take a picture? She goes, oh yeah, sure, baby. Click, 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 click. Fuck him. Fuck him.
Oh wow, Whitney Houston, that's hilarious.
And me with my Wesley Snipes head. Respect the hairdo. Respect the hairdo. New Jack.
No.
Yeah.
Carlton,
White man can't jump.
What is Wesley Snipes doing? Why are you showing me a picture of Wesley Snipes
That's
and Whitney Houston?
hilarious.
Hey, she was so ghetto. This was before Bobby Brown.
Oh
you look
really?
just like Wesley Snipes.
I hear, especially if I lose weight, I hear white people do that, make that mistake all the time. I kid you not. You know what's funny? I'm walking up Fifth Avenue one time and I see Whoopi Goldberg coming down the street. I got my leather, my tweed hat, my shades. And I see her and I'm like, I remember when I saw her in the movie Ghost, at one point she had a skirt on and she had I'm like, hey, Whoopi's got a nice ass. Wow. I didn't know she had culo like that. I'm like, hey. So she walks up. I said, hey, Whoopi. And I just kept walking. I said, I'm going to keep it cool.
Yeah.
She said, hi. So we waited. We parted. And I said, I'm going to wait a beat of 5. Then I'm going to turn around and look at her ass and see if it still look like that. As I turned around and lift up my glasses, she was turning around, lifting up her glasses. And we both went, huh, and walked.
That's hilarious. You guys both check you guys out.
But I think she was trying to figure out who was I, because I was just so cool about it. I just went, hey, Whoopi, and kept going. I didn't stop.
Gotcha.
You know? But it was funny. I was trying to check that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
working with Whoop. You know what I'm saying? Man, you know, the funny thing is, a lot of them, you meet them, they're wonderful people. It's the gatekeepers around them. The people that don't sing, dance, write, produce, they don't do shit. They're just there. Yeah. And those are the ones who give you a heart. When you get to meet the actual star, usually they're the sweetest person in the world. And you know what I tell people?
Of course, you have your occasion assholes though that are not humble.
Oh, don't get me with these posters. I'm gonna tell you one. Oh, in a minute. But what I found, and I tell people this all the time: when you see your favorite star or somebody, don't tell them, "Oh, I love your new movie. I love your new record," because all they're gonna say is, "Thank you, God bless you." Mention that movie or that record from a few years ago that flopped. Chances are that was their favorite, and they will talk your ear off about it. You bought that record? Wasn't that a good record? The company fucked it up, man. They will go off about it. You know what I'm saying? Or ask them who influenced them. I'm trying to get one of my posters signed. A lot of these acts, I have like multiple posters on them because they're always on each other's shows. So I go to BBK, and here comes Curtis Blow. I've got about 6-7 posters. Curtis Blow. And he's giving me a hard time about signing his posters. He don't want to sign them. Wow. Like, yo, Curtis. First of all, ain't nobody really checking for you like that, man. You know what I'm saying? Chill. You should be glad. Yeah, so he disappointed me. Patrice Rushen, a couple of people, you know, and it takes nothing to lose a fan. That's the thing you got to remember. It takes nothing. By the same token, it takes nothing to gain a fan. You know? So, you know, I tell people all the time, just be as real. If you don't want to be bothered, don't leave the house. Don't leave the house.
You have this fabulous, just life with stories, stuff like that. And also this career that's flourishing, right? You're like this hidden gem where you're like one of these artists that can travel and perform, you know, where other artists may have radio play or may have the Instagram followers, right? But they don't have this traveling capability and also this connection with the fans that you have. Like with no marketing, right? With no agent or manager, this is you. And you
got to know how to entertain, Rick. And the people will always want you back. When the people want you back, the people that own the clubs or the venues, whatever, they're going to have you come back because people are asking for you. Why? Because you entertained them. You complimented them on their shirt or their dress. You complimented her on her haircut, told her hair looks pretty because her husband didn't even notice it. You know what I'm saying? You see a husband, but you act like you've never seen him before because tonight he's with his wife. He's not with his girlfriend. These are all the things you got to remember. You know what I'm saying? And they respect you and remember you for that. It's like being a politician. You got to do it. It ain't about you. You know what I'm saying? It's about what we can how good we can make them feel. I know how the people that my heroes. I know how good they made me feel. You know, and it's like that's all I want to do for somebody.
How sad was it for you? I know for me, like going back and watching when you see an artist, you know, on their prime, and then you see them down the road, and you see what like substance abuse is now doing to their voice, and how heartbreaking was that for you to see that? You know.
Look at Sly Stone. Sly Stone, you know what I'm saying? Look at Amy Winehouse. Even better, let's say Amy Winehouse. Girl, you had the world in the palm of your hands off of one album.
Yep.
You understand what I'm saying? Hey, you saw the verses just now with Chaka Khan and Stephanie Mills.
Oh,
You saw that?
Yeah.
That was like watching Muhammad Ali fight when he couldn't fight anymore. It's like, oh man.
Yeah.
You know, don't let her go on stage and then somebody tackle her and get off stage.
Or
You're
sing in a different key.
No. No, there's no help in that. You're probably going to use your job. She was in bad shape then. I'm going to tell you something about that versus bullshit and this unsung bullshit. And I say that because, you know the TV show Unsung?
No. I've heard of it, but I haven't.
It's a big series. Google, you know, Unsung. And, you know, well, we're going to tell you the stories of James Brown, The Temptations, Sly and the Family Stone, Aretha Franklin. These people are not unsung. We know who they are. You want to get those people that nobody really knows who've had tremendous careers, but you don't know their names. That's the definition of being unsung. Same thing with verses. Why do you have these artists sitting there singing along to records they recorded 30, 40 years ago? You know, if we're going to do our material, let's get a piano player.
I like to be live.
Yeah, Chaka, you sing your song, I'll sing my song. Well, now sing it in the keys that we can sing in now.
Yes.
And it makes it more authentic. They got Ronald Isley, 80 years old, trying to sing Shout. They recorded in 1954. Throw my hands up and shout. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. I just think it could be better, but hey, they making the money. They ain't going to listen to me. But get somebody, you know what? If you want to make verses great, get a gifted piano player to bring some star appeal. Jamie Foxx can play anything on piano. Get Jamie. Get Jamie. You do one, then let Jamie. It would be amazing. As opposed to them singing along to these records and they out of breath and, you know. It's,
no, that's true.
It's crazy. It's crazy. Hey, y'all. Am I wearing y'all out?
No. We're going to wrap it up soon, but we can still talk we're going to end the interview soon. But then we could keep talking once we stop it.
End it whenever you want. Talk to me, ask me, whatever. I'm loving this, man.
So we got this last segment that we do where we pull out a card that has like 2 questions. And it's basically Let's Look Inside is the segment where we're going to ask you some from this deck, personal 2 questions. They could be deep, it could not be deep. So here we go.
Okay.
So the first question is, when was the last time you had to forgive a friend?
I really can't. I'll tell you what I did do recently. I decided to change my mind regarding my thought process about a family member and stop thinking negative thoughts about them because I'm pissed off at them and something they said to me. But I said, you know, I'm going to begin to think positive thoughts about them. They know they were wrong. As opposed to every thought I have of them is, you know, is negative. I said, let me just change that energy. That's as close as it's
that's good.
as it's come.
Yeah.
And that was my niece.
Oh, okay. Would you describe yourself as an extrovert or an introvert, and why? That's like obvious.
God, I'm so shy. Oh, stop, Plowski.
I want another question.
We need another question behind that. Okay.
Another question. No. Ask it.
What is one thing you like to do that sets you up for a great day? That's a good one.
Well, I love to eat something that I really, really enjoy and watch TV and look at YouTube all at the same time. Or I love that. I don't know about a great day, but at that moment, I'm happy.
That's your great day.
You know, I don't want to eat and talk like people in these other countries want to go have dinner. Nah, I want to eat my food and enjoy it. I don't want to talk to you. You know, so
I'm the same way.
I want to eat and get down. The things that have always made me happy routinely, be totally honest with you, my vices are clothes, music, and women. So any of those 3 we do it. Although the women's situation, that's a whole nother podcast.
Yeah.
Because there's been so much madness and drama with that it sort of takes away from it. But I love and just adore and cherish women. You women are the most amazing things on the planet. The things that we put you through is unbelievable. But sometimes you have these unrealistic.
I was gonna ask one last thing.
Please.
You have such a positive outlook about you. Were you always like that? And what keeps you like that? What keeps you like that? Because
it's the only way to be. We already know what the negative shit is. We already know what that is. That's always going to be there, waiting for you to fall back down into it. So you might as well walk down the sunny side of the street with rose-colored glasses on. The glass is always half full.